Looks like, there it is. Hello, everybody. It's me, Shannon LaBruyere. I am live and loving it tonight. Welcome to Sunday Night Live, where we talk about the principles that allow us to thrive in change, all manner of change. The change that we want, the change that we don't, the change that we expected, the change that we didn't. No matter which way the pendulum of change is swinging in your life, you can deal with it in a way that allows you to be better tomorrow than you are today. You can allow your roots to be fed, even if you're in a season where your tree isn't blooming. I'm here to tell you that when you apply principles consistently in your life, consistently, you will reap good things. You are in the right place. You are investing in yourself, and that is amazing. Welcome and thank you for being here. Hi, Mary. It's good to see you. If you have never given StreamYard permission to post your name and your Facebook profile photo when you comment, now's a great time to do that. I would love to hear from everybody who's tuning in live, and I want this to be a place where you can contribute, and we know who you are when you talk. Hi, Carol. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And we are going to talk tonight about, let me find it here, the Thrive and Change principle, trust the process. Hashtag trust the process. Our focus tonight is on momentum. And momentum is the result of a process. Momentum is the result of us doing something consistently toward a goal that allows that energy to build and combine and build and combine like a snowball rolling down a hill. So, momentum is all about a process. So, tonight we're going to explore process. Welcome. Thank you for jumping on. Everybody who's here, make sure you say hi in the comments. And the other thing I want you to make sure you do, if you have never had Thumb Roast coffee, you are in for a treat. Thumb Roast coffee has been such a faithful sponsor of Sunday Night Live, and we appreciate it. I appreciate it a great deal. Not just the sponsorship that great company gives to us here at Sunday Night Live, but also because I drink Thumb Roast coffee and it is delicious and wonderful. So if you have never tried it, now's your chance. And the weather's turning cool here in the United States. Fall is here. Perfect time to try some really delicious coffee. Go to thumbroastcoffee.com and use the coupon code THRIVE, THRIVE, and you'll get 15% off of your order. And you will be treating yourself and also supporting a business that's not just committed to providing great coffee, but they're committed to helping people like you and me be able to grow and thrive. I appreciate that so much. So thank you, Thumb Roast Coffee. Thanks for sponsoring Sunday Night Live. And I encourage you, if you've never tried it, to give it a try because it's amazing. All right, we are going to get started. Welcome. All right, so we're talking about this process of momentum. And I'll share with you, um, you know what? Sometimes I share with you my big failures. And this one, thank goodness, isn't a big mistake. It's actually a story about me catching myself before I let it become a big mistake. And you know what? Applaud, applaud, applaud. Yay, Shannon. I learned to avoid a pothole. I've been down this road before and I've learned my lessons. I want to share it with you. My well, it was actually quite a big success because it's allowed me to maintain my momentum, but it might not come across as such a huge thing to you. But I promise you that if you apply this principle in your life in the areas where you are struggling to maintain your momentum, you are going to find that it transforms. It transforms transforms what you're able to get accomplished. It transforms how you feel. All right, so let's get started. Don't let what you don't know stop you from acting on what you do know. I'm going to say that again for those of you who are taking notes. Don't let what you don't know stop you from taking action on what you do know. I am building an online presence, if you will, an online resource that allows people to work with me more easily, allows them to understand what I can do for them in a clear and concise way, and allows them to know what their next steps are if they want to find out how I can help them, how I can serve them. In other words, you guys, I'm working on a website. Okay. But this has been a long process for me, and it has been fraught with stops. It has been fraught with momentum killing stuff. And you'd think you'd think that it would be just really big stuff that's prevented me from moving forward on my website. But the truth of it is this. The truth of it is it has not been big stuff externally. It's been big stuff. It's been big stuff in my head, or even more accurately, stuff that I felt like was big. And this is what it is. I didn't know. I didn't know, fill in the blank. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't feel confident that I was doing the right thing as I was working on the words that go on my website. It's one thing to have it be there, but it's another thing to have the right words in the right places. This matters. And for some reason, Coach Shannon failed to coach herself and got trapped in my head. And this might have happened to you. I got stuck in my head, and then I'd bust loose, and then I'd get stuck in my head again. And it always revolved around not knowing something. I don't know how to do that thing. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know, fill in the blank. Some of you are thinking to yourself, wow, this is a great follow up to last week's Sunday Night Live. And it is. It definitely is. I got stuck in my head for more than a year. I've gone off and on trying to develop a website, a resource so that people can find out who I am, what I do, and engage with me in a way that is quick and easy for them. How simple should that be? But it isn't simple. And I'll tell you why it wasn't simple, because it was all up here. I kept trying to figure it out. And I kept letting what I didn't know stop me for taking action on what I did. What I didn't know became my focus. And as you know, where our focus goes, our energy flows. The more I focused on how I didn't know what to say about my biography, I didn't know what to say about live stream leadership. The list goes on and on. It's lengthy, you guys, of what I convinced myself I didn't know. But here's the beautiful ticket. Here's the beautiful key that I promised you, the thing that allows you to keep your momentum going. Don't focus on what you don't know. Take action on what you do. Action brings clarity. That's another great point to write down. Action brings clarity. We will never have clarity entirely by trying to figure it out up here. At some point, we have to take all these thoughts, all these concerns, all these fears that we're not going to do it right, and we have to take action. And when we take action, we gain clarity. So this is what I learned this week, the little pothole I avoided. Instead of getting stuck like I have in the past, obsessing about what I didn't know, actually, this is an even better way to put it. I was getting very focused on what I thought was important and how I didn't know how to do that important thing. The most important thing that I'm working on, I'll just be transparent here. The most important thing that I'm working on right now in my business and in my purpose, which those two things go together, my purpose and my business, they're like this. The most important thing I'm working on in my business and in my purpose is the Livestream Leadership Program. I am passionate about equipping people to lead themselves and others well. And that is the program where I do that the best, the most. That's the program I've chosen to focus on. I'm focusing on that. But there are aspects of that that I'm still walking through. I'm still developing. And for a split second, I was not taking action. Split second. Okay, it was 2.5 days. All right. So for 2.5 days, I allowed my brain to swirl about, I don't know what to say about this. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like. I don't know how to do that piece. I don't know how to tell people about that. And that's the most important thing to me right now. It's the thing that my heart is just on fire about. It's the most important thing for me. And I want you to think about what's the most important thing for you. What are you working on? What change are you trying to bring about in your life that's important to you? And I want you to just hold that thought. I started realizing as I was trying to build this resource for people to tell them about Livestream Leadership, I realized I didn't know exactly what to say. I wasn't sure about exactly what I wanted people to do, how I wanted them to respond, what did I want to give them next. You can tell I'm confusing you as I'm talking about it. A lot that I didn't know, but you know what I did know? And there was this part of me that knows. There is a part of me that knows that one of the things I am crystal clear about is that I believe that the DISC personality assessment, in my case, because I'm building my website, putting my resources on there, I know that DISC personality assessment is powerful. And even though that's not the most important piece of what I'm doing, it's not my passion writ large, it's something that I know. And after a couple of days of agonizing and focusing and amplifying what I didn't know about the thing that I believe is most important, I decided, you know what? Instead of getting stuck because I don't know what to do about that thing, I'm just going to do something I do know. I'm going to take action on this. I'm going to take action on this piece, even though it doesn't feel like it's important. I don't know if that's making sense to you. We can get caught up in shaming ourselves because we're not working on the thing that's most important. The problem is, if we don't know what to do next on that thing, staring at it is not going to change anything. Here's your key. Here's your shift. And I know this is for somebody. I know this is for somebody right now. The shift that you can make is to say, you know what? The most important thing that I need to do might not be the most important thing. If you can't take action on it, it's not the most important thing that you need to do next. You always have everything you need to do the next thing you need to do. Do that thing, even if it doesn't feel important, even if it pales in comparison to that other thing. Now, let me just put a disclaimer here. I'm not talking about distracting yourself, doing busy work like I do when it's tax season and my closets are never more organized than when I'm supposed to be working on my taxes. Maybe you can relate to that. I'm not talking about that kind of do the unimportant thing. I'm talking about taking a look at everything that's on your plate and saying, all right, I'm not sure what to do here, but while I'm waiting for clarity on that, I'm going to take action over here. I'm going to do even that small thing that's going to get me closer to the goal. I'm going to mail the letter. I'm going to write down the couple of thoughts. I'm going to work on the disc page because that I know and I've got clarity there. And amazingly, what this does when we choose to take action on the thing that we know instead of focusing on the thing we don't, we begin to either get momentum or keep our wheels turning. And it is so beautiful to experience when we trust that process. I'm going to take action on what I do know, even if it's little, even if it seems insignificant, even if it's just a small part. When we take action on what we know to do, amazing things happen in the arena where we didn't know what to do because action brings clarity. All right, Carol says, wow, one piece at a time. Thank you. Sometimes I don't start a project that I know needs to be done because I don't have time to finish, but maybe I need to do a bit at a time. Now I'm excited. I love that, Carol. Thank you. Oh, Mary says the same thing. Yes, it is so easy to fall into that pothole on our road to whatever we're doing, our dream, our road to our purpose, our path to our calling. It is so easy to get stuck in this idea that I have to have all of it figured out before I can do anything. And the truth is, when we start doing the thing we know to do, clarity comes and we start understanding what to do next. It frees things up. We don't feel so frozen and stuck and straight jacketed like we can't move. Keep moving, always knowing the direction you want to go. Always knowing the direction you want to go. If I cannot do this whole project because there are pieces I don't know, and certainly over the past year and a half, we've had a lot in our world that we didn't know what was going to happen next. We didn't know. There are things we can't know, but we can get frozen if we start fixating on what we don't know because the book is large, okay? There's a lot we don't know. And even the things we think we know, we don't know, right? I think there's a scripture in the Bible that says, Lord willing, you can make plans for tomorrow. It's the truth. We can make all the plans we want. We don't know exactly what tomorrow holds. That's why it's so important to trust the process to take action on what we do know. Because when we do that, we are making progress toward that goal, toward that dream, toward our purpose. We are making progress toward that, even if it's a baby step, but we're still moving. We're not getting stuck in our heads. If you can't do the most important thing for whatever reason, maybe it's because you broke your leg and you can't do the most important thing. Maybe, and I don't know what the most important thing is for you. Maybe it's because you lack money. Maybe it's because you lack other resources. So you feel like I can't do the important thing. I can't have that huge impact that I know I'm supposed to have. I can't take on that huge project that I know I'm supposed to be doing. Welcome to life. Your lizard brain, my lizard brain, loves nothing more than to keep us safe by distracting us from what we are actually able to take action on. Our own brain does that to us. It says you don't need to grow and do anything different than you've always done. You need to stay safe right here. Oh, look, a squirrel. Or, oh, look, it's a huge task. You'll never get through it. Don't even try. That's ridiculous. Our own brains are wired like that. And I am here to tell you that you don't have to believe that. You don't have to believe that because you can't take action on this important thing, that any action you take is wasted. No action toward a goal is ever wasted. I want you to hear that. No action, no matter how small, that's going toward your goal is ever wasted, even if it doesn't turn out the way you expected. This is what I've learned over time. Sometimes the unimportant things that we do just to keep moving are actually the most important things of all. I want you to really let that sink in. Often, the unimportant things that we are doing to get our project toward just moving down the road, often those seemingly unimportant things are the most important things of all. Why? Because they kept us moving. And sometimes, if you're like me, you procrastinate about the small things, like, oh, I'll get to that some other time. Well, guess what? If you don't do those little details, if you don't, for example, I'll give you a very quick example. A small thing that I have begun doing lately to keep myself moving toward a goal is when I get a text message from somebody, I make sure that I put their name in my contacts so that the next time I need to talk with them, I am not scrolling through a giant list of numbers, not remembering whose was what. It takes a couple of seconds, but it's important because it saves me time and energy down the road. It allows me to advance toward my goal of being more connected with people, being able to communicate with them quickly and easily. Seems like a small thing, right? But it's not. It's not. It's important. Seemingly unimportant things are often very, very important. So don't beat yourself up if you're not able to take action on the biggest piece of your project because you're waiting for information or you're saving money and resources, or you haven't quite got clarity on what your next step actually is. Instead of spending your energy focusing on that and making that bigger and more confusing and more immobilizing, choose to maintain your momentum by taking action on what you know. Don't let what you don't know stop you from acting on what you do know. And what do you know? What do you know? And I'm asking you this. I'd love for you to comment. What do you know about what you want from life, the kind of relationships you want to have, the kind of change that you want to see take place in your life? What do you know about that you could take action on? I give you an example of one of mine, making it easier for myself to be able to text somebody when I'm thinking of them. Bam. There it is. Is that the most important thing in my life? Well, having a contact list in my iPhone isn't the most important thing in my life. But how has that impacted the way I communicate and connect with people? Significantly. Sometimes the things that seem the least important are still important, and we can take the opportunity to do them when there are things we don't know about other things. Make sense? Carol says, starting to write one plan I've put off with one step at a time so I don't forget steps, but can cross off one step at a time. My husband is the king, Carol, of doing a little bit on this project and then a little bit on this project and then a little bit on this project. And when he gets stuck on this one, he'll move over here and put some mental energy into this one and take some action on that. And one step at a time, he moves a lot of things forward. There is so much value in just approaching a plan one step at a time. We've heard that saying that every journey begins with a single step. And I'm going to be honest, I've sometimes rolled my mental eyes at that and thought, that's dumb. It's actually not dumb. It's true. It is true. When we minimize the value of those small steps, we end up not taking any steps at all. And then we get stuck. And we are nowhere closer to our goal. So, Carol, yes, start to write that plan, and one step at a time, you can cross off the steps and you will eventually get where you need to be. I love it. Years ago, when I was newly hired at the Postal Service, I have shared before, I carried mail for 89 miserable days. On the 90th day, it was my day off. And on the 91st day, they fired me. I did go back in a different role and had a 31-year career. So I have no regrets. But for me, carrying mail and delivering mail was a very, very difficult job. And some days, the only way I was able to get through it was to tell myself over and over and over, every step I take is getting me closer to the end. Seemed like a lot of steps. Sometimes I was carrying heavy things, but every step was taking me closer to my goal, which was to go home to my family and my baby. It got me through. I kept walking. When we keep walking, we get somewhere. It's really important when we're maintaining momentum on the goals that we have in our life, on the projects, on our mission, our purpose, our dream. It's really important that the activities we choose, when we start taking action on what we know, that we are going in the direction that we want to go, not the opposite. Mary says, I sometimes am afraid to start something because I might not do it right or like everyone else does it. Mary, I've got good news and bad news for you. I'm going to start with the bad news. The bad news is you are not going to do it right the first time you've done it. Unless it is a very, very simple task, you are probably not going to do it right. The good news is that's okay. Everybody starts new, and then we gain experience and we learn as we go. So the bad news is, yeah, you're not going to do it right. The good news is it doesn't matter because taking action allows you to get better. We do not get better up here. We do not get better up here. We get better by taking action. So, Mary, I'm thrilled for you that you are considering starting new things. And you have shared with us on Sunday Night Live, you have shared some of the great steps you've taken to do new things and to start new things. So I know you know how to do it. You know how to start a new thing. You know how to adjust if it doesn't go as planned. The other gift I want to give you is this, Mary. If you don't do it like everybody else, that's awesome. That's awesome because you aren't everybody else. You can do it your way and you can adjust it. You can learn from other people's mistakes. You can start again. You can try over. You can decide it's something you don't want to do. It's no fun. You get to decide. You are in charge of that. But don't allow yourself to get stuck on what you don't know. Take action on what you do. And I can't wait to hear how it works out. Please share as you do that. I can't wait to hear how it works out. Carol said he had lists. Mary said he had lists for everything. Mary, your husband's name was Ken, wasn't it? I think it was. You're Ken in my head, Ken. Maybe it's something about the name. Lists for everything. I love it. What else are you guys thinking about as we wrap up tonight's edition of Sunday Night Live? Hashtag trust the process. Momentum gets killed when we focus on what we don't know instead of taking action on what we do. Do what you know to do with what you have. Take action and watch what happens as clarity starts to unfold over in this arena. Because when we take action, frees up all of our creative juices. We're not obsessing about things. We're percolating. Things are exciting. It's pretty good. very good. With that, I am going to wish you all, bless you all with a beautiful week. I want you to go out there, take action, get clarity, keep your momentum going. Whenever you are tempted to let what you don't know stop you from taking action, make that shift quickly, like I did. I've spent months in that doldrums before, you guys, where I just was so worried about what I didn't know. I wasn't taking any action at all. 2.5 days. Woohoo, Shannon, go. I didn't lose my momentum. I was able to shift and say, all right, what do I need to do next in this area that I know? Take that next step. The beautiful thing is tons of progress happening over here on my Livestream Leadership program, on my website. Good stuff is happening. And it is all because I'm taking action on what I know. Shift, Carol says, will remember. Yes, make the shift. Don't focus on what I don't know. Take action on what I do. And sometimes I'll just close with this. Sometimes that is very granular. I was thinking about it. This applies to many things. It applies to our work. It applies to projects. It applies to relationships. If there's a relationship in your life that you don't know what to do next, make that shift. Instead of focusing on, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what to do about it. Make a shift and take action on what you do know. And sometimes what we do know are basic things. They're our core beliefs. I know I'm going to be kind. What does kindness look like? I'm going to show love. What does love look like? I'm going to be brave. What does courage look like? Those are the things we know. I'm a person of honor, right? I can take action on what I know. Even if it gets down to those nitty-gritty basics. I have no idea what else to do, but I know this. I'm going to be kind. What does that look like? You take that action and all of a sudden, stuff starts to move. It's amazing. Marie, I'm glad to hear you're making this shift, and welcome to live Sunday Night Live. It's good to see you and see your comments. I love it. You guys, you're wonderful. You are powerful. You are full of impact. You are purposeful. You are called to have a great impact on this world. I'm delighted to help you, to be a part of your journey, and thank you for being a part of mine. I learn from you every week, and I appreciate it. With that, I love you. Take care. Have a blessed week. Bye.